Hi there, welcome to the Bradbury Young channel. Now I'm pretty sure that most sewists have got one of these, a trusty surfboard. Who wrote this script? Hi there, welcome to the Bradbury Young channel. Now I'm pretty sure that most sewists are going to have one of these things, a trusty ironing board, and I imagine, like me, it gets used a lot, or at least I suppose we're told we should be using it a lot, especially for pressing and ironing and getting all our seams nice and neat. But as like everything, it gets a bit worn out, and this one is no exception. It is very, very threadbare and very thin. And I know that this isn't just one layer, there are several layers in here, and even now I can still feel that metal work through this ironing board, through the this top layer. It's like all my steam's just escaping every time I try and press something. So yeah, very threadbare. I mean, even here, all the materials actually go in. It's just the padding that's underneath that's really there. So I really do need to cover it. And unlike some people, and I know this is a perfectly good way of doing it, you just get another cover and cover it over on the top of what's already there. But like I say, this is so thin now, I really do need to completely recover this with new padding and packing underneath and a new top as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recover my ironing board. So I think what I'm going to do first of all is talk about the materials I'm going to use, because there are a number of materials I'm going to use really, but I'm going to start with the best one, what you're actually going to see at the end, what's going to be the main cover, and it's this. Get it the right way up. Look at that, that's amazing. This is, if I'll just bring it a bit closer, looks a bit like a Halloween material, doesn't it? And I suppose it is to some extent. It's got skulls on it, and it's got the cat's faces and moss, and looks like some potion brew in a bottle there. So that's what I'm going to use. And it's really lovely. Now this is, it's quite a softish material, I suppose. It is 100% cotton. It's a bit like a sort of, I don't know, a mid-weight cotton. I could have used a heavier cotton than this, but I mean, I like the print on this. I thought that was going to work just brilliantly. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm sure it'll stand out once it's on there. Now I did actually get this material from the lovely Anna, whose channel is the Pattern Pouch Nest. Now Anna also has a website which is where I got this material from, and the website is of the same name, Pattern Pouch Nest. Now Anna was also very lovely in helping me source a couple of other items, which is some calico, some nice basic medium weight calico, which I wanted as a layer and piece on there, and also some cotton batting, I think it's called, and this is quite thick. This is going to help to give that sort of, you know, nice feel when I'm actually pressing and ironing. So I got that as well. So yeah, Anna was really very, very helpful in helping me source these materials. And if you fancy having a look at the website, you might find something that you like. I'll put a link in the description below. Now there is one other item that I did get, but I bought this from Amazon. I might use it, I don't know, haven't quite decided yet. And that's this, well, I'll get it out of the bag. Oh, there we go. And it's like this, like a thicker foam. I can't really describe it. It's a sort of wadding material of sorts. Now this is meant to be a sort of heat resistant and flame retardant material. Not sure if I really need it with all this other stuff, but there we go. And the only other item that I need is some elastic, which I've got a whole roll of it to elasticate around the edge, so it'll stay on. So that's my materials. Now before I get into covering this ironing board, I just wanted to go over something. Now I've watched many videos on how you should cover your ironing board, and you know what? There are so many different ways that people do it. There are so many different materials and layers that people use. And I looked at it and thought, am I overdoing this? Am I using too much material? I'm thinking, well, no, because I want there to be a nice, good padding underneath. And the way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to be using quite a bit of stuff. So I'm thinking it's going to get quite thick, isn't it? But then I thought, well, if I decide it's too thick, I can always remove a layer if I want to. I know that some of the videos, they'll literally make the top and that'll be it. Some will use some wadding or some sort. Some will just use a bit of cotton batting and that'll be it, along with the top piece. But all in all, there is a multitude of different ways of recovering your ironing board. So this isn't a sort of absolute. I mean, take it as you like. It's also not a tutorial neither. This is just me covering my ironing board, doing it my way. So however you want to do it, I suppose. I mean, there are many different materials, and I've seen quite a few different techniques for actually getting the material the right size and measuring out and cutting different ways. Sewing the elastic in, actually creating a channel, which is what I'll be doing. I'll create a channel for my elastic. Some people have a drawstring to draw it through without any elastic in there at all, which is, I suppose it works okay, you know. But what I'm saying is that each person's preference and what they want is going to be different. So don't take this as gospel. This is just my way of doing it, and hopefully it'll come out right. And well, I'll see it at the end, won't I? So better get on with it and stop chatting. So I suppose the first thing I'm going to have to do actually is to uncover this ironing board with what's already on here, so I can get back to the base layer before I can actually measure up and start working on the actual cutting and getting ready for the new material. So first up, really, I've got to mark up my material so I can get it cut out. Now, as you can see, I'm in the spare room. This is my sewing room, and it's exceptionally small and tight in here. So I'm going to have to work around the cramped spacing on the floor here to try and mark out this calico. I'm starting with the calico, and I'll mark it so it's exactly the right size. So that's my starting point, and then I can use that calico as my effectively template, I suppose. So better start off by drawing around this and getting on with it, I suppose. So that's the calico, the first piece cut out. That is what I'm going to use as my template, basically, because it's the right size now for the board, and I can use it so that I obviously need some extra width on other pieces. So I can do that now from this piece without having to clamber over that ironing board all the time. So here we go, part one. So I'm about to mark up and cut out my main fabric. This is what's going to be seen on the top. And what I need to do is to mark out an edge for it so that when I turn it over, put it on top and turn it over, I can create that channel for it to put the elastic in. Now, this is the size of my ironing board, and the fabric, I've been looking at it and decided I'm going to go with 10 centimeters extra on the side. I mean, from the videos I've seen, everybody's doing anything from sort of like 6 to 10 centimeters extra on the edge, depending on how they're doing it. For me, I'm going to do it nice and wide, gives me a bit of room for maneuver to bring it in more or give me a nice decent channel to put the elastic in. Now, I've decided to measure it up against this salvage edge here with the 10 centimeters against the original piece that I cut out, my calico that I'm using as my template. And I'm doing that because I want to make sure it's nice and straight, or as straight as I can be. So that gives me a nice straight edge. Mark up me 10 centimeters against that, and then I just got to mark up 10 centimeters around the rest of it so I can cut that out. So better get on with cutting out and getting it done so I can get this top section actually made. And ta-da, all done. Not really, I've still got quite a bit to go. I've actually got to put the elastic in. So next job is, I suppose, the sewing part of this project to turn this up just a little bit, put a little bit of a turn on there, just to watch that fraying so it doesn't fray along this edge. And then I've got to turn it up again a wider amount so that I can create a channel so that I can put my elastic in. Of course, the channel can't be too big because it's got to come round and then go underneath. And I've also got a bit of, I suppose, thickness in there now with all this padding, but I've got to get that sort of quite well done so that when I put it on, it will sort of pull down and sort of hold all this in place then. Yeah, so better get on with this and get that channel in there so I can get the elastic in on it. Well, I've got the channel sewn in onto the fabric so I can actually get the elastic in there. And as you can see, it's in there. It's quite a wide channel, so hopefully that should work quite well to hold it on to the ironing board. Now, is it really neat? No. Could I made it neater? Yes. Could I be bothered to make it neater? No. Don't be silly. That's good enough. Well, I hope it's good enough, so better get on and get this elastic in it. And here we are, actually at the end. Managed to finally get it on. after I'd put the elastic in, I put it on, and I was going to film it, but it actually turned out to be quite a bit of a nightmare to get it on, to get it to sit right and just where you want it to, where I wanted it to. And then what I did is at this end where the elastic is, I got the elastic to, I tied it up. I sort of pulled it as you meant to, sort of stress the elastic to get it to the tension that I wanted to under here, and then just tied it. I found that was the easy thing. Now it feels a bit too springy maybe, but I think the problem being at the moment is that I've got several layers and they're all acting sort of like separately, and hopefully over time those layers will settle together and start to form like a single layer. I have just given it a bit of a iron over, get the steam coming out, and it seems to work fine. There's a slight odd smell, but I imagine that's because I've got a whole load of new material that's never been had anything on it, and like I say, they're yet to sort of mesh themselves together. Yeah, there's my steam. But I'm hoping, yeah, over time they will settle and it'll work much better, and it's so much better than what was on it before, because it just got so threadbare and terrible that it was literally just falling apart. So there we are, one ironing board finally done. I do like that material on there. I know it's sort of Halloweeny and we're only at the beginning of the year, it's spring, but you know, it looks quite funky. I like it. And yeah, it's taken me longer than I thought it would do to put on here. I've used several layers and I could have used less. I could have had less layers in there. That's personal preference and choice. I might even take layers out as I go along if I find that it's not settling the way I want it to. But yeah, I think it looks really groovy, really funky. I like that. And it's much better. Let me put it back up there. Oh, and it's much better than this threadbare thing that I'd got on there before. I mean, where is it? I mean, look, I mean, it's wearing out there, and on the side here, you can see that's completely knackered, and the elastic in it has completely gone. There was, you know, that had it, and I mean the other layers that it had as well, and that all that foam that was falling out, it was just had it. So yeah, I like that. That's much better, and hopefully I'll get used to it before too long, and my pressing and seams and everything will be much better. Certainly hope so anyway. Well, if you like this video, please do give it a like, give it a thumbs up, click that button, and subscribe. That way you'll get notifications of when my videos come out, and please do comment. I do love reading your comments and what you think, and if you want, please do comment between yourselves. It's great to have that conversation. So I think it's just left for me to say thank you very much for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye.
Bye.